On average, 30 million passengers cruise globally, on cruise ships which have evolved from just a mode of transport.
The ship itself has become the destination.
And this is the largest of them all, Symphony of the Seas. Constructed in 2018, costing over £1 billion, she weighs 228,000 tons.
It's just a wow factor when you walk on board, second to none.
I think it's a wow, even just driving up to it.
The ship is 1,188 feet in length, longer than the Shard on its side. Its 18 decks stand at 238 feet in height, making it taller than Nelson's Column. With 6 engines, each the size of a double-decker bus, totaling 128,600 horsepower.
It's a marvel of technical engineering.
They even constructed a park that contains 20,700 tropical plants and 52 trees.
I didn't think you need a gardener on a cruise ship.
This epic piece of engineering carries 2,200 crew members who look after 6,680 guests, accommodated in 2,759 state rooms.
Everything will be picture perfect. That's what we strive for.
Below deck, the kitchens produce over 40,000 meals per day and has a shopping bill just under $1 million per week, catering for guests that can seat 5,200 guests in one sitting. This is a behind-the-scenes look at the people who keep this sailing city afloat.
Missing one, guys, one on the counter.
We cannot leave 6,300 waiting for them.
Welcome aboard the £1 billion cruise. It's a new day on Symphony of the Seas, and it's the first of 3 port days guests will experience on their 7-day cruise. Operations will need to run perfectly if the world's largest cruise ship is to reach its destinations on time. There is one man in charge of keeping the ship on schedule, Captain Rick.
All right, good morning, everybody. Morning. So we're going to make our arrival into Roatan, Honduras, and we can go ahead and start. I am the captain on board the Symphony of the Seas, the largest cruise ship in the world. I think I'm probably the smallest captain in the world.
This is national site, also showing rain and cloud.
All right, I'll have navigational command, Staff Captain. You'll bring us in, and who's in the cockpit? Ariel. Okay, who's steering? Okay, very good. So yes, I'm very honored to be chosen. It wasn't the first time I was appointed captain of the largest cruise ship in the world. It's just the ships keep getting bigger. That's all.
With the crew preparing operations for several busy days in various ports, first on the agenda is to dock a ship the size of 4 football pitches, and it's no easy feat.
Oh, look how dark the sky is all over here.
Pilot boat approaching.
Hey, pilot boat is approaching.
Yeah. Alongside.
Pilot boat's alongside. Every port, we have a port pilot that is an expert in the port. They know the different currents, what wind conditions. Of course, there's language barriers as well, so it's very important to have them on board. You're gonna be a star on TV in the UK.
Oh, man.
Say hi to your fans in London.
Hey. How you doing?
With the port pilot on board, the world's largest cruise ship can dock at its first port of call, the island of Roatan, Honduras.
Clear to proceed.
Yep, ready to proceed.
Very good. A lot of the ports are quite narrow, and this is a very large ship, so there's very little room for error. We have to be sure we're right on track. And the equipment that we have on board the ship is great for that, because it can tell us within meters how far on or off the track we are.
The captain and his staff also have the use of electronic and digital navigation charts, as well as a series of sensors located around the body of the vessel, giving accurate accounts of the ship's position and surroundings.
The bow thruster, it's very sensitive. A slight movement one way or the other with my fingers controls enormous power.
Similar to propellers, the bow thrusters at the front of the ship help maneuver the vessel with horsepower equivalent to 28 Ferraris. They're able to reach 3 to 4 knots and help the ship move on its side, Accompanied by local line handlers, this allows a precise and safe maneuver into dock.
7 meters. Perfect. Looking good.
As Captain Rick and his port pilot guide the world's largest ship into port, 8 decks down in the galley, Chef Alan is busy overseeing breakfast for the 6,300 guests so they don't go hungry on their first day in port.
Morning, morning. I'm Alan Gentile. I'm from Venezuela. I'm development chef of the fleet, the world's largest operation of food and beverage on the seas right now. How are you, senor? Das, how we are doing? Yeah? Pancakes, breakfast, super. So we had so many kitchens here that everything is completely different. For example, we had 30, 28, 30, more or less. There is so many kitchens that you get so confused.
And those 30 kitchens serve the 23 dining areas.
He's making all the omelets. When they start to almost finish, he starts to make all the production here we start to serve it outside to give omelet fresh in big quantities and that the guests can have it faster.
And with 60,000 eggs cracked each week, that's a lot of omelettes for Alan to oversee.
But it's really full of pressure and stress, and we are making happen food for 6,400 in the same time. But it's really crazy, but it's amazing.
Anyhow, that was a very good job. Nice conditions. We're in position. We've got the gangway set. And the authorities are giving us clearance, so everyone's going to get to go ashore and have a beautiful day today in Roatan.
Roatan is the ship's first port of call, and with up to 14 cruise ships docking each week, more than 1 million passengers pass through the port each year.
Every time we arrive in port, we just want to give our guests a heads up. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain, Captain Rick, speaking to you from the bridge. We just let them know, first of all, where we are, what the weather is going to be like. The weather forecast for today, partly cloudy. There's a chance of rain and thunderstorms throughout the day. Also, a very important item is what time the ship sails, because we want to make sure everybody's back on time. All guests have to be back on board by 5:30 p.m. That is 5:30 p.m. That's why I make that announcement, just to let them know the ship has arrived. We have been cleared by the local authorities. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention, and have a great day today in Roatan, Honduras.
Even though there's a wide variety of restaurants to choose from on board the ship, on port days, the most popular dining spot is the ship's main dining room.
Normally, we serve exactly with 3,000 guests that eat there. And the quantities are very big, massive. It's crazy.
Every day, 40,000 plates of food are served across all the restaurants.
The breakfast operation, one of the more important for everybody always is the buffet. Super big buffet of breakfast, and you see crispy bacon and stations of omelettes and stations of egg. That is fantastic. In the kitchen, we had the 254 cooks, plus 100 utilities. That is 354 is our team that is run without stop.
Breakfast may be in full swing, but that's not stopping Alan's team from preparing the day's lunch and dinner. And with 30,000 potatoes consumed across the week, there is a designated cook just for that vegetable.
Okay, it had one cook named Potato Man. He only peel potatoes, bring potatoes, chop potatoes, mashed potatoes, like that, but just potatoes the whole day. For example, Bacon Man at night. Only bacon, 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 bacon until it's crispy. Then, when he finished that production, he starts to serve all the breakfast. Do you imagine the quantity of bacon crispy that we can serve in one morning?
170,000 slices of bacon are cooked every week, meaning Alan and his team are cooking more than 24,000 rashers of bacon each morning in preparation for breakfast. After a hearty breakfast, guests are free to leave the ship. While some passengers explore the island, many have remained on board to enjoy the events put on port days. And with the weather looking gloomy outside, it's the job of one of the Royal Genies, Reno, personal concierge to the ship's star-class guests, to brighten up the day.
We're going to pick up one of my star-class guests, taking her to the family festival, which is on the boardwalk downstairs. lots of face painting, a bit of a carnival afternoon treat for the children.
With some star-class suites costing up to £75,000, Reno has to ensure every guest wish comes true.
I love people. I love the fact that I meet a new family every 7 days, and I thrive on it. Who is you?
Do you want to go to a party?
Shall we go to the party? Are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
It's amazing for me seeing how you enhance their incredible special time together on holiday. We're going to the party, baby. When the Genie program got launched, the whole idea about it was that we get personally involved with the guest pre-cruise by sending out a survey, finding out a little bit more about who they are, and then being that personal assistant once they are on board.
Raina's amazing. He's the best of the best, for sure. Makes every vacation impeccable, so, from start to finish. Here we go.
I paid it for that.
The boardwalk on Deck 6 is the ultimate kids' playground, featuring its very own hand-carved carousel, sweet shops and games. The perfect setting for a family festival.
Definitely something to do for everybody in the family. Look, when you are referred to as a genie, it's very easy for the kids to see the wonder, the magical genie appear from nowhere. And then sometimes they don't want the genie to go. The work goes on. And if it means that you take the kids for a milkshake or have to go down the slide with them in your suit, you tend to do that.
Would you like to have some?
No, the genie is going to not fit in his lamp anymore, okay? So the genie is going to say, no, thank you. They feel like your own children eventually. And you actually, at the end of the day, just have fun with them.
I'll see you later, Princess, okay? Bye-bye. Enjoy ice cream.
The ship is still at the island of Roatan, and the weather has turned. Rainfall means the exclusive event on the ship's helipad, the Sailaway party, is in jeopardy. The hotel team are hoping it's a passing shower.
What's that for?
This is the sweet part.
Oh, they're having the sweet party.
Weather plays a huge part in the guest's vacation experience. It also plays a huge part in the success of our entertainment program. Sailaway parties out on the deck. If it rains out, well, what do we do?
Hey, Jackie, this is Adrian here. It's wet enough that it's going to be very slippery for our guests, and it's very unsafe right now, so...
Oh, it looks like our party's been rained out. So.
Please explain that to the guests and let them know, and we'll go ahead and reschedule it.
The weather rules, right? Mother Nature rules. So now we have to postpone and reschedule the event, unfortunately. But yeah, it happens.
A little bit of liquid sunshine. At least the rain is warm in the Caribbean.
With the party plans postponed and 30 minutes till the world's largest cruise ship sets sail from Roatan, Guest Services Manager Adrian's next task is to ensure all 6,300 passengers are on the ship for departure.
Hi, Nissan, this is Adrian here. Just wanted to get from a security perspective how many guests are we ashore and how many we're looking at.
It seems Adrian's day is going from bad to worse.
334 guests ashore. All right. Okay, thanks very much. See you. Bye-bye. So as you can see, we have 300 guests still kind of off the ship. We still have another 30 minutes for Sailaway. But it seems like there were a few guests that kind of wanted to get the best of the island. And obviously, we have more than what we normally have at this time ashore. So I'm going to be heading down to the gangway in the next 5 minutes just to count for everybody. Well, it's very important that we get everybody back on board on time because we want to sail on time.
If passengers miss the ship, there is an assigned staff member to help. But in most cases, it will be the passenger's responsibility to catch up with the ship on its next port of call.
How are we doing?
141.
All right, so we're looking at another 130 guests left. As you can see, a lot of the guests coming. We've got 3 gangways open right now. So trying to get everybody on board as quickly as possible.
As the remaining passengers make it on board, Adrian is now waiting for one guest holding up the departure.
Missing one, guys, one unaccounted. Can you send somebody to the room? The girlfriend is on board. Girlfriend or the wife is on board, and he's showing off.
If someone is running late, we do the best we can to try and contact them. However, if we don't know where they are or what time they're going to be back, then perhaps we would have to sail without them.
The world's largest cruise ship, Symphony of the Seas, is almost ready to depart from its first of 3 ports of call on this 7-day cruise. In trying to keep to the schedule, it's been a busy day for guest services manager Adrian. However, his struggle to find one passenger may have just come to an end.
Just wait outside if the guest comes.
The scanner used to register passengers back on board has failed to count one guest to the system, causing a technical error. With hotel director Fernando meeting guests upstairs, it looks like Adrian's troubles are over.
They've just confirmed that the guest is on board. We had to physically met him upstairs, and it's all done.
With Adrian's worries over and all passengers back on board, the crew on one of the most technically advanced bridges are ready to depart. But there appears to be one man missing.
Pilot, any word of him?
The port pilot is nowhere to be seen, meaning the ship can't set sail until he's on board.
It's important that people do respect the schedule of the ship, as long as we call it before 2:15. So, okay. And we'll end up waiting for these guys. We have a scheduled departure time, and a lot of people deployed, waiting to get the ship to go to sea.
Copy that. Don't take the gangway. We're still waiting for the pilot. I think he's just coming through the gate now.
Just in the nick of time, it looks like the port pilot is back. But it doesn't look like he's in a hurry.
We'd like to make sure we can make the next port on time as well. So that's very important for us to keep to the schedules. Oh, Captain Dilbert.
Captain,
Welcome on board, sir.
thank you.
Very nice to see you again. We are ready to depart. Start 2 thrusters.
Finally, it's anchors up for the world's largest cruise ship. Aside from the 4 bow thrusters at the front of the ship, in order to move out of port with great accuracy, the ship uses AIPods. 3 250 electric-powered propellers that hang down from the back of the ship. Each AIPod can create 20 megawatts of power, equivalent to powering a large town. The AIPods rotate 360 degrees, which allows the captain to steer the ship in any direction, meaning the vessel can be maneuvered with extreme precision out of port and into the open sea. Once at sea, the ship will take 12.5 minutes to reach its maximum cruising speed of 22 knots, so that it stays on course through the night towards its next port, the island of St. Kitts. This 7-day cruise has reached another port in its busy itinerary, and whilst passengers explore the island of St. Kitts, hotel director Fernando is about to catch up with the heads of his 2,200-strong team.
Important emails out of the way, and now time for the meeting. On board the cruise ship, you could divide it in 3, so you have the navigation, then you have the engines and everything that is technical on the cruise ship. And then the largest portion of it is the hotel. So that's what I'm in charge of.
All right, everyone's here. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning, morning.
The key is to have a very good planning, but to be always prepared with a certain amount of flexibility for anything that may come our way.
One of our Grand Suite guests reported there were kids running around in the corridor late at night. We reviewed the cameras, identified the guests, and we spoke to the parents this morning. So we'll follow up with the guests and let them know. Yeah, they were just kids being kids.
Ringing every doorbell along the way.
Yes.
This is all like a city. So just like any other city, there are things that happen every day, and we're here to take care of that.
We canceled the suite party the other day because of the rain, as you all know, and we rescheduled it for today on departure. And the guests have been inquiring about it as well. They're quite keen and looking forward to actually having it. So I think the weather's got better from yesterday. What I looked to today, this morning, it's looking better. So
Fingers crossed.
So I want to make sure that everything goes perfect from the day that they come on until the day that they leave.
Another great day. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to work. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right. Let's get down to work.
Cruise director Ricky is head of entertainment. Not only does he oversee West End-style productions, along with aqua and ice shows, but on port days, he's the man in charge of the daily activities for those who've remained on board. And there's only one way to get around the world's largest cruise ship.
This is Segway? Oh, yes. This is my little gem here. Pretty cool that I have a Segway, my own Segway. Oh, here we go. Why is it backing up? Let's try this way. Yeah, the first time I got on it, I almost fell. But it took me about 10 minutes to to get a hold of myself and actually to learn it. It's actually quite easy. It's crying for help. All right, here we go. We're back in business.
First on the agenda for Ricky is overseeing his nautical-themed street party, Anchors Away.
Hello! Hey! What are you, a Viking? Viking. The Anchors Away Street Spectacular is huge for us. The preparation is quite long, actually. It's over 2 hours to actually get everything prepped and ready. Boats have to be assembled, costumes have to be laid out, and the team members got to stretch, you got to warm up, you got to get yourself all prepared for it. So it is a lengthy process, but it's great that I get the opportunity to go in just before they all go out, to cheer them on, check in, make sure everybody's all right, and so that's really cool. It's something I look forward to. Enjoy the Street Spectacular. Let's make it. Oh, hi, Captain. Have a good time. We'll see you on the parade. Bye-bye. Anchors Away.
From pirates to Vikings, every member of Ricky's 200-strong entertainment team have their own part to play to provide entertainment to those not leaving the ship. Whilst the ship's guests are dazzled by another spectacular show, one deck below in Studio B, the Royal Genie is making a special plan for his star-class guests.
Welcome to this coldest place on board a ship. We have many incredible shows on board a ship. Of course, with 6,600 plus guests, the venues can fill up quite quickly. We do not want our star-class guests at any point in time to feel they have to be at a show an hour before the time to get a front row seat if that's what they want. So the Genies take care of that. We have reservation signs that, for our star-class guests we will put out.
Star-class guests can pay up to £75,000 a week for their suites, which gives them priority and exclusive access to certain parts of the ship, and of course, their very own butler service.
What we normally do is we will warn the guests before the time, stating the very obvious that it is an ice rink that the show is taking place in, and we would ask them to bring like a pullover or a jersey or something with them. Sometimes even that is not enough and it can get really cold. We will have blankets ready. We'll get them a hot drink from Starbucks, for instance. It's that little Genie twist to a show.
With the ice prepared, rehearsals for tonight's ice skating extravaganza can now begin. At 11,411 square feet, the vessel has the world's largest ice rink at sea. It's filled with international Olympic-level skaters, putting on tonight's ice show 1977. And while Captain Rick may be in charge at sea, on the ice, Ice Captain Garrett is in charge. As Ice Captain, Garrett is in charge of watching the night's previous performances and giving feedback to his team.
Well, right now I'm just making sure everyone comes to warm up for their show.
One of the newest members of the 12-strong ice skating team is Angela.
That's Taras over there. I just met him. Woo! I just met him this contract, and he's super funny. And then Tim, actually, I've known for 8 years. It's both of our first contracts, so it's been fun to kind of experience it with him.
Angela and Tim both have skated for the US national team.
The team performed 2 shows a night at a total 1,000 capacity ice rink. And to keep up with the show's demands and eagerly anticipating audiences, the performers constantly adapt their routines.
Taras is learning a new skill right now. It's called a B-twist, where he fans his legs in the air. It's called a butterfly, but he's gonna add a full rotation in a horizontal position. And he's planning to land back down on his feet, but this is in the progression phase, so he's just learning how to throw himself in the air. It's a challenging job, but I'm sort of there to help guide people and, of course, to make sure everyone's safe.
With rehearsals over at the bow of the ship, Guest Services Manager Adrian has an important phone call to make regarding the rescheduled Sailaway party.
Just wanted to check how's the weather looking for in about an hour from now. All right, so you think it's gonna be no rain and the weather's gonna be good? That sounds fantastic, man. It's gonna make a whole lot of sweet guests happy because they're really looking forward to this party.
The party has been given the go-ahead, but will everyone be back on time? The world's largest cruise ship is on schedule to visit 3 different Caribbean islands. Today, the ship is docked in its second part in its week-long itinerary, the island of St. Kitts. Of the 2,759 cabins on board the ship, only 188 are Star-Class suites. And finally, after weather delays and reschedule, a select few Star-Class guests have been invited to an exclusive setting, the Sailaway party, on the ship's helipad. And they're being greeted by the department heads of the hotel team.
Party girl, we did 2 drinks.
The party is a chance for the guests to get to know the staff on board the Symphony.
Look at all these guys fighting over you.
With 6,300 passengers on board, Guest Service Manager Adrian is only ever a phone call away from a problem.
Genie's on the phone, so we're gonna wait for a little bit. I think we're missing 2 guests.
Okay.
I heard something about a ferry, so they should be already on the way. So we need to check. So, Adrian. Sometimes there are situations where we are in a port of call. Our thousands of guests go ashore, and then some of them got stuck in traffic, and then they need to rush back on.
While the Symphony of the Sea's little sister leaves port, Fernando has discovered 2 passengers are still on the island of St. Kitts. And with VIP guests waiting, the decision must be made to either wait for the missing passengers or leave on time.
Do we know anything about them? Tour, anything? Single, no kids traveling on board?
They've tried the emergency numbers, no kids traveling, anybody?
Okay. We try to work as well then with the port agents to figure out who's behind, how long are we gonna wait for these guests? Do they have their passports with them in case they are gonna make it to the next port of call? Captain, I was just, we have 2 guests then missing, and we tried the emergency number. We don't seem to be able to locate them. How long can we wait for them, you think? Eventually need to move to the next port of call. So these are things that happen on a daily basis, and we need to be prepared. Yeah. Agree. Okay. Thank you, Captain.
It's not very hard for me to make that choice. I have to stick to the schedule.
It's going to be too long for us to wait. Cannot leave 6,300 waiting for them. So Captain's going to start engines as soon as the enchantment is out of the way. We're going to get going. So
Royal Caribbean will now liaise with the 2 missing guests and will coordinate to help get them back on board at the next port.
Gonna get going, Ricky?
We can get started with the go, yeah.
All right.
As Enchantment of the Seas, half the size of Symphony of the Seas, maneuvers its way clear, the captain can finally start the engines and the Sailaway party can commence.
Welcome, everyone. Are you all enjoying your cruise? Oh, that was good. That was good. But I would like the people on the Enchantment to hear, if that's okay. Are you all enjoying your cruise? Oh, yeah, I can see the jealousy is flowing right. Oh, there it is. Before we sail, there's one person, he's not able to be here, and he plays such an important role. He's all the way somewhere up there. Captain Rick, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, on the starboard side. And he's blowing that horn, there we go. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.
While guests finish their cocktails and night falls, the ship's multi-million-pound entertainment comes to life. Outside Studio B, the Royal Genie waits to escort his star-class guests into tonight's 1977 ice show.
This is my other family, not the family shoot family. Everybody say hello to Europe TV. Are we with?
As the Genie greets his guests, backstage, Ice Captain Garrett is getting his costume ready for tonight's performance.
This would be my solo costume. This is my top, which then gets covered by the wings. And pants. This one makes for a heavy costume, but there are some costumes that do not stretch. Personally, I like having my range of motion, particularly with my legs. So if I don't have pants that stretch or armpits that stretch, as it can be a bit restricting. You have to push through it anyway.
With greetings done, the guests head to the best seats in the house.
In the beginning, the Genie is always seen as a bit of a butler service, which it is in a certain way. But in our case, it's become a friend of the family. Right, I've got you all lined up. And we have many, many repeat cruisers that come back to have the same Genie experience.
Hey, go over.
I'm gonna see you later, okay? We deliver that extra a little bit that the guests would never have imagined, making wishes come true.
"1977 opens with a spectacular 48-drone light show. It took Royal Caribbean a year to create and calibrate the drones to act and move as one. Not to be upstaged by the drones, the international cast of ice skaters take the audience back in time to 1977 and a diamond heist of the crown jewels. Ice Captain Garrett is part of the ensemble that follows time-traveling thief-catcher Tempest as he arrives in London to thwart the heist. As Tempest travels the globe from one scene to the next, Ricky is supposed to be heading to the ice show to surprise the audience in Studio B.
Oh yeah, getting around the ship can be can be hard. It can be a bit of a challenge to get from one point to the next, but I also bask in that as well because it's a good thing. It's a reflection on what I deliver, right? And for guests to recognize me.
Nice to meet you.
With Ricky stopping to chat with passengers, he'll need to get his skates on if he's going to make it to the finale on time. Back at Studio B, the crowd are dazzled by stunning costumes and spectacular choreography.
Studio B is my opportunity to actually go out and address the guests, and that's what I actually love. Going now, it's time to go backstage, get them skates on, and get ready. Hopefully I won't fall. Gives me the opportunity to try something that the guest is not expecting. They're not expecting me to get on skates. Growing up in Jamaica, I was quite shocked and surprised to learn that Jamaica has a bobsled team. So anything is possible. But on the high seas, I think I'm the only Jamaican that skates. And these are actually my personal skate that I bought. I travel with, and wherever I go, where there's an ice rink, I get on the ice.
As Ice Captain Garrett and his team take a bow, the audience are unaware that one more skater is about to take the ice.
All right, time to wrap up a great day. Getting the response from the crowd, it's a motivator for sure.
In order for me to skate, I need to hear some Jamaican ice skating music.
When I get on stage and I'm able to just electrify people and let them forget even for that moment and just lose themselves into that experience, that's the biggest gratitude. And when I walk around the ship, they're all like, oh, good skate, man, you were great. Oh my gosh, you were so great, huh? You know, so that's good fun.
Enjoy yourselves, everybody. Bye-bye.
The entertainment might be over for the evening as guests head to their cabins, but things are piping up in the bakery.
Very nice. Yeah, super. It's completely different at sea because we work every day together. We have completely different challenges together, and like every day is happening crazy different stuff that make it like super nice. We are doing the croissant fresh, and we have to prepare 210 pounds of dough. Right. 210 pounds, more or less, how many croissants we are making every day? 1,800 portions at the moment.
Croissants are not the only freshly baked pastry. Over 100 other varieties are baked each day, as well as 40 types of bread.
Hot, hot, hot. If you can see inside and you feel the perfume now, it's amazing. Super nice. Come on.
A staggering 12,600 pounds of flour is used each week on the cruise, meaning there's enough flour on board to bake 2 loaves of bread for every guest.
And we will show you this machine in some simple things, but extremely important in the ship. This is one machine special just to slice the bread, because we cook so much bread that if we put one person to slice, we will have to put like 3 persons to only slice bread the whole day, non-stop. Then a couple of times we had this machine broken and we had issues like that to everybody running because we have to look the way just to slice the bread. Yeah, it's very different, very challenging. Every day is completely different, but it's amazing. Yes, it's amazing.
As the ship heads to its next port of call, the Royal Caribbean's very own private island, CocoCay in the Bahamas, another day on the world's largest cruise ship draws to a close. But the next day can't start without the help from one dynamic duo.
Junior. Yes. All right, okay. Well, actually, this is the gentleman that changed the elevator around midnight. His name is Junior Fortune from ET.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice meeting you all guys.
There's 24 elevators. All right, so these are the signs for the elevators.
When you're relaxing on the world's largest cruise ship, days at sea can distort time. To help guests know what day it is, the ship's maintenance team puts the day of the week on the floor of each of its 24 elevators.
So you just turn the elevator on the opposite side, like if today is. All right, so you see you get Monday here, you just turn it around, you get Tuesday. All right?
Maybe like that Tuesday.
Yeah, so today is Tuesday. No, today is Monday. Today is Monday.
And it's my duty as well to make you see the next day coming, which is gonna be Monday. That's why I come to do it here now. Trust me, I have fun doing this job because if I don't make the day as I'm doing it here, you won't see tomorrow. You won't see Monday. I enjoy it. I'm turning the world and keep the world moving.
Six days into the current cruise, Symphony of the Seas has reached its final port of call, its very own exclusive island, Perfect Day at CocoCay. Lying in the heart of the Bahamas, Royal Caribbean leased the island for 100 years and spent a staggering $250 million transforming the 125 acres of white sandy beach into the ultimate chill and thrill adventure island. As the island is uninhabited, today is the busiest day for this port because its current visitor is the world's largest cruise ship. Any Royal Caribbean ship that docks at CocoCay must supply their own provisions and staff. The man in charge of seeing the food and beverages coming off the ship is inventory manager Ola.
We're now in the general provision area where it's always very busy, as you can see. This is where things come on and be offloaded from the ship. It's also the start of our main thoroughfare in the ship for the crew, which goes from all the way from the back all the way to the forward.
With 5 complimentary dining areas and approximately 6,000 passengers expected to disembark, Ola must get to work in organising what provisions are needed for CocoCay.
So that equipment is here as well. That's what's going off first because that takes the longest to set up.
Super. It's fantastic now, all the view with all the crew coming out, part of all the cooks, all the bar servers. At the same time that they go to all the stations, we send all the pallets of the food for the bars and for all the buffets, and they have to be there already to receive, break the pallets, and make sure that the buffet is set.
As the staff head to their stations, clearance is given for the pallets to be unloaded. The world's largest cruise ship will provide the island with 60 tons of provisions. It takes a well-oiled machine to coordinate Perfect Day.
We are doing extremely faster. The weather is amazing. We have all the crew in the island already. Yeah, this will be Perfect Day CocoCay. Fantastic, eh? Super good.
All right, so now we're going to have a look into the, well, my favorite place, and that's the beer and wine fridge. So beer and wine and soda, we never really go empty because consumption varies from cruise to cruise. Beer is one of those things, it's very complicated to buy in the islands where we're going, so we don't want to run out. But 25,000 bottles of beer every week we go through. So demographic play a huge part, and cruising in Europe, if we have a lot of Scandinavians and British guests, we definitely go through more of our alcoholic beverages. So this is our liquor box, where we keep all the liquor. This is a special room, so this is actually a fireproof room because of the alcohol contents of the products we store in there. Vodka is probably one of the most popular in any part of the world, and obviously once we have our British numbers go up, then it's gin, a lot of gin, and I think Brits are the only ones in the world drinking Pimm's, which we carry as well. So.
With the pallets off, the 6,300 guests can disembark for the day. And guest services manager Adrian is hoping for a more relaxing day at the port this time round.
Can you tell me how many guests off the ship? Yeah, go ahead.
3254 off.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's nearly half the ship off in the last 35 minutes that we all started opening the gangways. It's been a smooth day so far. I think we have quite a big demand for the tram today. It's always a good thing that we get our guests off in time and they can enjoy and maximize their time at the port, which is very, very good. So that's all in the day's work for today. So with that said, I'm going to head back.
Adrian heads back to the office.
Have a good day.
Back on the island, Perfect Day has the tallest water slide in North America, Daredevil's Peak.
It does look a pretty exhilarating slide, should we say.
Having climbed the 200 steps and waited just under an hour, James and Melanie must face Daredevil's Peak.
Not climbing all this way and waiting this time to back out. We're going to go down, definitely.
Wow, that was fast.
Over at the chill side of the island, entertainment manager Asata has arrived at the beach to check in on the guests.
On the ship, you have so many activities and stuff that they do, shows and everything. And then when you come here, there is actually more. There's more things to do, more things to see. Oh, Jenga! There you go, see? That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. We do zip lining. You know, we have the air balloon, the up and away, you know, and you can go for a balloon ride. If you want to snorkel, you have that. If you want to just relax on the beach and, you know, enjoy a drink or just enjoy the fresh breeze from the ocean, you have that. So it is definitely an extension of what you get on the ship and even more. Yeah.
While everyone may be having a perfect day on the island, on board the ship, things are a little less than perfect. On the Royal Promenade, facilities cleaning specialist Placide is faced with a lighting issue.
Pretty much everyone is off on the island, so this is the opportunity we take to do any type of jobs that would allow us to work freely and not have too much guests around. The light that is flickering there, it needs to be solid. So they have to replace one of the drivers. So that's what the guys up there, the team is up there inside there trying to figure out and troubleshoot and sort it out.
Symphony of the Seas has an estimated 140,000 light bulbs on board. 90% of them are LED. A few are causing problems for the maintenance team.
The good thing about it, we have the equipment. Without equipment like these to get us up to the high areas, the high ceilings, light bulbs to replace, literally it would be impossible. And it would be very challenging if we had to do with extremely long ladders and we worked as if we were back 2 decades ago. The guests love seeing us work. They love to see us up in the machinery. They like marvel at, okay, this is how we actually going to get to this area. But they sit and they wonder, who's going to be, how do they clean it, how do they change the lights? Who fixes, who repairs, who does what? And they get a first hand to see what we do on the largest ship in the world. Hopefully we get everything done before they get back on board and it's a full-on party again before they sail off tonight.
The lights on the ship may not have been fixed, but back on CocoCay, they're starting to go down. It's been a perfect day for guests and staff, but now it's all aboard as the world's largest cruise ship sets sail to its next port of call. Next time, we go deep into the ship.
So these are about 14.4 megawatt engines. In total, between all of them, there is about 130,000 horsepower.
And weather brings the show to a halt.
We're experiencing a little bit of movement, and it's not very safe for the performers.